What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. I'm making up for lost time tonight. I didn't do a couple videos in the last couple of days. One of them I did, and I actually I made a mistake in the video, so I scratched. It was a small one, but I'm a perfectionist when it comes to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. I like to be accurate, y'all. At least I try. Speaking of accuracy, let's talk about what's in the news lately, what's excluded from the news as well. For example, was watching the Laura Ingraham show. Now, I actually saw this press conference live as well. The president in the White House with a lot of, let me look around, okay, because see, we're supposed to be all white nationalists and racists, trying to make the White House all white again. Let me look around, make sure. He was in the White House with black people. Ooh. Yep, that's right, black people. You want to know what he was talking about? He had the nerve to talk about bringing jobs and opportunities to the ghetto, to the inner city, and the rural areas. Ooh. See, I look at it like this. See, if you're not upper class, if you're not, one of the Aryan people, okay, you don't deserve nothing from America, okay? This country right here, it's our country. That's what we're supposed to be thinking, right? But then Donald Trump and all of his racism had the nerve to bring black people into the White House to talk about better in urban areas. Ooh, gives me the willies. Let's listen in.
Or national newscasts. The White House announcing a bold plan to change the lives in America of some of our poorest citizens, those who live in the most distressed and sometimes the most dangerous neighborhoods. Flanked by Senator Tim Scott and BET founder Bob Johnson, with Van Jones looking on, you see him there. The president signed an executive order creating something called the Opportunity and Revitalization Council. Now, if you think this is just kind of another brick in the bureaucracy here in D.C., signifying nothing, think again. Led by HUD Secretary Ben Carson, it will coordinate efforts across the entire federal government to deliver jobs, investment, and growth in underprivileged areas. By the way, it includes rural areas, too. Now, this means more
growth, jobs in rural and urban areas? You mean to tell that? You know what? Why ain't this on CNN? Why ain't this on MSNBC? Could it be perhaps it doesn't fit the narrative that Trump doesn't do anything for minorities or black people? He hates them all. Matter of fact, he has a diabolical plan to starve out the ghetto. He's like, don't send any more supplies there, nothing. We want those people to eventually starve out and decide to go back to Africa. That's what we want. That's what we want, And so for all the black people who bought into that narrative, they don't want them seeing this. No. They don't want them understanding or even hearing about prison reform. No. They don't want them to hear about this executive order. None of these things are going to run on CNN, MSNBC, because they don't want to talk about those things. But the one thing that they do want you to hear about? Watch this at the end of this wonderful, wonderful presentation, this wonderful moment where Trump is signing an executive order that will help the inner city. And guess what the press wants to chit-chat about? Watch this, guys.
private sector money will flow into some of these high-risk areas or low development areas.
Yeah.
And what will that do? In turn, that will deliver jobs.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you.
Mr. President, your reaction to Michael Cohen's president. Did Michael Cohen
Okay, so I was thinking maybe they would be like, Mr. President, when is this going to be implemented? When is the money going to be allocated towards these areas? What areas are you targeting, President? Is this going to cover all of the major cities in America, these democratically ran cities that are broke and the education system's messed up and there's no jobs and there's high violence? Is it going to cover all of those, Mr. President? How much money is going to be allocated towards them? Mr. Ben Carson, can you give us some more information about this? Hey, guys, let's take some notes. Let's get this stuff out there to the people so they can all rejoice and say, good job, President. We thought you was just the Grinch. We thought you were just some mean old white supremacist in the White House. But we see now that you care about all Americans. And we didn't see that before because the media, along with the Democrats, didn't want us to because they don't like to cover stories like this. You know what ones they like to, Mr. President, what do you about Michael Cohen? Stormy Daniels. What about Putin and then the Robert Mueller investigation? You scared to go to jail, Mr. President? Mr. President, are you a racist, Mr. President? Do you support slavery, Mr. President? You lied about this 59 times in 32 seconds. That's a record, Mr. President. That's what they want to talk about. Garbage. And yet, we're supposed to trust them for our information. See, this right here, once again, only validates President Trump's initial statement about the fake news is the enemy of the people. Instead of covering news that matters to people, they want to know about Michael Cohen. See, because you know why? Michael Cohen is a victim. I mean, I heard him on the news today, and he was talking about how he was just used and abused by the president. President made him do all these bad, horrible things, and he was scared. Almost sound like a slave from, I'm scared of that mean old Donald Trump. Yeah, and I'm thinking, poor Michael Cohen. You seem so sincere in your statement and your efforts to make up for all your wicked deeds dealing with Donald Trump. And the media laps that up because it's juicy versus substance that really will benefit us. But we're supposed to trust them. So anyway, I hope you watched that video. I hope you pass that on. Pass this one on. For any of the people out there that might still be saying, Trump ain't trying to do nothing for the inner city. He don't do nothing for the brothers. He don't do nothing for minorities. Send them my video. If they don't want to trust Laura Ingraham because, oh, well, she's a Fox commentator, maybe they might listen to me. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? I guess that accounts for something, perhaps. And I don't know why they want to listen to Laura. I love Laura. You know, she's my conservative commentator crush. I love her. She's great, hilarious. So anyway, yeah, pass that video along, pass this one along, and check me out every Wednesday night, 7:30, live on YouTube, actually. And you can also listen to me on my radio show, Kevin's Corner. And if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, there's a link right down there to do that. And you also want to check out Extreme Teas. There's a link in the bottom to check them out as well. They're my sponsor. If you put my name in to the promo code, Kevin, then you'll get 20% off. And I think it's free shipping. So take advantage of the holiday specials. And also, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're tiptoeing up towards 100,000 subscribers, y'all. Woohoo! It's time to celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on. Do. It's a celebration. Yeah, y'all know the words. It's time to come together. Do you know that they are from my hometown? They're from Youngstown. That's right. Yeah. Cool in the game. That's what they would call. Kool-Aid in the game. Anyway, God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.